हर खबर पर होगी आपकी पकड़। डाउनलोड कीजिए ABP लाइव ऐप।
There is a collateral-free automatic loan for MSMEs which is being provided. This will give facility up to 3 lakh crores for those MSME units for whom 25 crore is the outstanding loan or 100 crores whose turnover will benefit from this. These loans will have a 4-year tenure and there will be a moratorium given for 12 months. These are going to be 100% credit guaranteed over as a cover given to banks and NBFCs on principal and interest. So this is going to be available till 31st October 2020. There are no guarantee fees, no fresh collaterals required. So I guess this will benefit 45 lakh units so that they can resume their business activity and also safeguard jobs. Now the stressed MSMEs do have a problem of equity. So for them, through a subordinate debt provision, we want to provide about 20,000 crore liquidity. 2 lakh MSMEs are likely to benefit from this. The functioning of the MSMEs which are NPA or are stressed, all of them will be eligible. For this subordinate debt-based scheme, NPAs or stressed MSMEs will all be eligible for this. There is a fund of fund being created for infusing about 50,000 crore as equity into the MSMEs. This will benefit those MSMEs who have the potential and who are viable. So we spoke about those who are standard, we spoke about those who are NPAs and stressed. Additional criteria to define an MSME is being brought in, and that criteria is based on turnover. So that is being brought in newly now. Earlier it was only investment size, now investment size and or additional turnover size is being brought in. And earlier the distinction which prevailed between manufacturing unit and therefore their definition was on slightly different account. Service units, their definition was on slightly different criteria. Now that differentiation between manufacturing and service MSME are being removed. Manufacturing MSME or service-based MSME shall all be defined similarly. And then, therefore, the chart that is there before you will tell you what was earlier and what is now. What was earlier defined with an investment of 25 lakh as micro unit will now have investment allowed till 1 crore. So they'll still be called a micro unit even if the investment is up to 1 crore. Now, in that, service investments of 10 lakhs were called as micro earlier. Now, because the distinction is removed, service also will have the benefit of being called a micro unit even if the investment is 1 crore. Global tenders will be disallowed in government procurement for tenders up to 200 crores. Why is this being done? Majority of the MSMEs in India were unable to supply those big mother units, as you may call, big, large companies, who they were serving all the while. Suddenly the conditions became, based on the global tenders, unmatchable by our MSMEs. So they were disqualified from supplying to companies for whom they actually grew as ancillary units. Post-COVID, trade fairs, exhibitions are going to be very difficult. So we shall ensure that e-market linkage is provided across the board for all these MSMEs so that they're able to find their market easily in the absence of being able to participate in trade fairs which cannot be held in this environment. Also, very importantly, Government of India and also CPSEs, where there are receivables by MSMEs, we now announce that within the next 45 days, all their receivables will be cleared. The CPSEs and Government of India will honor every MSME receivable within the next 45 days. You were aware during the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package, some measures were extended for the EPF. In that, we had said units which have 100 workers, 90% of whom are earning less than 15,000 rupees, will be able to draw from their EPF from the funds because they needed money in their hands. We have now, and for the 3 months, the payment of EPF also was given relaxation. What I would now like to say before you is a liquidity relief is being given for all EPF establishments. In this, 12% which is paid by the employer and 12% by the employee contribution. We extend the support which Government of India gave for another 3 months. We had given it for March, April and May up to May 2020. The payments were made into their eligible accounts by Government of India for March, April and May. The next on EPF again, in order to provide more take-home salary for the employees and also to give relief to employers in the payment of PF for those which have not been covered under the earlier description, which is if you have 100 employees, 90% of whom are drawing less than 15,000, we announced a scheme earlier, which I'm extending for another 3 months. That's what was announced a minute ago. The second one in EPF now is the statutory PF contribution for those who are not covered in the earlier one is being reduced from 12% to 10%. So for the next 3 months, employers need to pay only 10% and not 12% so that they will have some more money in their hands. The next facility also for the NBFCs is to give 45,000 crore liquidity infusion through a partial credit guarantee scheme for the NBFCs in particular. This is an existing scheme, but we are expanding its scope. Expanding its scope only because it will now cover borrowings such as primary bond issued, the commercial papers. So all these will constitute the liability side of the balance sheet, but we are getting into that area also. But in this case, as different from the previous one, 20%, the first 20% loss alone will be borne by the guarantor, which is Government of India. The first 20% loss. So in this again, AA rated papers below and also below that will all be included. Even unrated papers will be eligible for investment. Discoms today are facing unprecedented cash flow problems. They desperately need help. Otherwise, they are unable to pay the power generating companies. You know, all the states, Discoms are in serious crisis. So in order to help them, there is a emergency liquidity injection, which is happening to the extent of 90,000 crores. Now the Power Finance Corporation, REC, the Rural Electrification Corporations, both of them put together will infuse liquidity of 90,000 crores to all the Discoms against all the receivables that they have. They are sitting there without getting paid. In turn, they are not able to pay the Gencos. In turn, the Gencos are wondering where they will have more money to pay for producing electricity. And at a time when we are talking about Aatmanirbhar Bharat, at a time when we are also rightly claiming the credit for having made India a surplus power generating country, we've reached a stage where discoms don't have money because they're sitting with receivables.
ये है ABP News, आपको रखे आगे।